and Spirits review. Tonight, day 13, the Adventure Beer Advent Calendar. I've just seen the red number 13 as well, thankfully. We'll see how this one goes. I had a slight hiccup yesterday with a beer. Wasn't really my cup of tea. First one, out of 13 beers or lagers. Yeah, the first hiccup. So we'll see how it goes. Number 13. Looking for some. Not for others. Right. It looks like it's... Oh, it's a bottle. Number 19 is trying to jump the party. I don't know if it's me this year or the fact that the bottles and that keep seeming to want to jump down, which is an absolute pain in the backside because, you know, yeah, a bit of a fella. I don't want to see what number 19 is before it comes out. So, from Flipside Brewery, this is Sterling Pale. And bogger me, I've actually got one behind me. Yeah, long time no chat. How's it going? So yeah, Flipside Brewery. They used to brew out of the Colic Industrial Estate, and I think they now cuckoo brew at Magpie Brewery. I think the brewery closed for whatever reason. They did have a shop as well. The shop's disappeared. That closed. So sad times really. Whenever any brewery has issues for whatever those issues are, because I haven't got a clue. But yeah, they had a shop in Gedling, which was a really good shop, 3.9%. And it was a really good shop and one of the best in Nottingham at the time. But obviously, things change. Good evening, Slurpee. Things change, and so it says here: classic English pale, light and easy drinking session ale with spicy hot notes, and flipping good beers was I'm sure that was the actual name of the shop. So we'll crack this one open if I can find a bottle opener. Yeah, so funny thing is I've actually got the same beer sat behind me waiting for review. So that's an odd coincidence. So now I'm just going to neck that one. Keep getting the backlog down. Anything I've already got, I'm just going to neck them in future. It's easier. So I do like this brewery. They still have a pub. They did have the Golden Fleece in Nottingham. That was one of theirs. And I don't think it is now. I think they've got a pub in Carlton, which is theirs. So interesting that your beers of the year aren't Imperial Stouts. For a lot of people, Imperial Stouts are the beers of the year. And it's good. It's good that we've all got different. Good evening, Tad and Chris, obviously, and Mr. Brown. But yeah, it's good that we've all got different beers of the year. So pale looking pour. I'd say it looks like a gold colour to me. It's just a tad hazy, not perfectly clear. Tad hazy. Not much of a head on this little white ring of head. What did it say it's got? Spicy hot notes. There's a light maltiness to the aroma. Right, cheers. Proper pub beer, me. This is. Oh, that's easy going. 3.9%, not too strong on the ABV. Yeah, 3.9% for this one. I really ought to have a stand that I can put the beer on there and it's smacking the way. There has been some amazing beers this year. None of us have had all the beers that have been released. You couldn't do it. No, you'd need an army of people to even go through all the beers. Could you imagine? You'd need about 100 people drinking every single beer that's released. And even then, that would be some doing. wait for my turkey on Christmas Day. Although I can't wait for Friday, to be fair. Track Sonoma. Right. Don't get a lot of track up in Nottingham. It's not a brewery that you see very often in Nottingham. We have had some big breweries from around the country here doing tap takeovers and stuff, but I've not seen Track, their name mentioned. I've only had a couple of their beers, to be fair. And I think I had them both in last year's Adventure Beer Advent Calendar. At that time, I'd never even heard of them. It was like, who are these? And it's surprising. Yeah. Could you imagine? You need to be doing 8 or 9 beer reviews a day. None of us could do that. None of us would really want to do it or afford to do it unless you're getting it for free. I suppose if you're getting beers for free, you won't mind doing 9 beer reviews a day. Takes some doing though. So, easygoing, slight twanginess to the affair, malty, a touch of spice. I wouldn't say there was much spice in it, but yeah, I've drank all their range of beers. Sadly, I don't think they've bought anything new out in a while that I can remember at least. And I'm not sure if it's the actual brewery or it's brewed under their name now. It's sad, isn't it? You know when breweries go. I think Rick War at B&M are the same. The brewery's actually disappeared, and it's brewed under their name at another brewery, and it is sad. It is sad. I suppose breweries come and go, don't they? Like shops, people give up, or they retire, or they just go. Hobgoblin IPA. On its day, it's a really nice beer. We had it, me and Craig, Kent Beer Reviews, reviewed it, and it was awful that day. And then another day, it's decent. Sometimes with supermarket beers, they can be like that, you know. It just makes you wonder if they are actually doing their tasting. And because obviously, there's always a chance something is going to taint the brew, or it's not going to be as good as you know, the malts could be there could be something dicky with the malts. You know, these things happen. Malts are grown in the field, I presume you all know. And anything that's grown can change in taste because of where you get it from, the soil you get it from, because they obviously inherit flavours from the soil, and depending on where it's harvested in the country, all these things come into play. It's like cows with milk. Cows that eat strawberries can, what's the word? Give out a milk with a strawberry tinge to it, a taste. Yeah. Just imagine cows eating horse shit and that getting in the taste. Imagine that. You're drinking your milk and it's like, yeah, it's got a bit of a nasty taste that this has. What's up with this milk? But you could imagine, couldn't you? Sproutless bolognese. Don't like sprouts. I'm not a sprout lover. Wife loves them. Yeah. Oh, 4 more days to go. I've done the 1 day. Been a grueler. Flipping heck. Trying to. Yeah, could you imagine that? Cost you a fortune in impy stout. But could you imagine the milk that will come out? Like a milky impy stout. Hey, there you are. You're there and you're drinking the milk and you're like, Jesus Christ. It's got some wallop on it. This has. It'd be interesting because I've seen it on TV and it wasn't April the 1st, where they were giving cows strawberries and the milk was coming with a strawberry flavour to it. So, you know, it's going to be nice to be off. I had no proper time off in ages. I ain't had a week. I ain't had a full week off since last Christmas. I've had the odd day here and there, but certainly not a full week. What's that? Yeah. No, I like Marmite though. Do like Marmite. Love Marmite. Although I bought this jar of Marmite Old, and it was too much for me. It was reduced from £4 down to £1. And being the type believer that I am, I thought I'll buy that. And oh dear, it was bloody horrible. I've got to say, this is a much nicer beer than last night's. That lager last night was not nice, and I had to be nice. I had to say it wasn't my cup of tea, but it really wasn't nice. Apologies to the brewery. Had a beer at dinner time. God dear. Tell you what, when I retire, I'll be steaming all the time. I'll never be sober. I'll have to be brewing it. One jar for a year's supply. That's not even a joke, is it? Mm. It's funny. I like Marmite, and then I buy it, and it sits in the cupboard, and I never actually use it, and it goes out of date, and it's like, for God's sakes, why did I even buy it? You know. I'm the same with Stilton. Absolutely love Stilton, and then all of a sudden I see the date go by, and I'm like, oh shoot, and I eat the whole lot in one go. Just sit there, big chunk of Stilton, and eat it all. And you can say that with a load of the stuff you buy. Could you imagine if there was a system one day, not obviously, where the food only appears in your kitchen, by some magical transportation like Star Trek type thing, and you buy it and it's there and you eat it that day? Could you imagine the money you'd save? Hey? It's what you need. We all need that beam me up thing. I can't remember what you call it these days, what it's actually called. But we all need that. So you only ever and then you can cut down on the space you need in your cupboards, because you won't need cupboards for food, because you just choose what you eat and it's there. I reckon Marmite would last for years. I do. I don't think dates really matter in the grand scheme of things. So going down well, a good traditional beer, and there's a place for traditional as well as craft. Um, I'm a bit concerned with these companies who are doing lagers, and the lagers, and this is these craft breweries as well. I've tasted some craft breweries lagers, and they've not been that great. There was another local brewery near me in Baseford, and that tells you all you need to know if you know Nottingham. And their version of lager, again, when it came out, it sold out across the city, and it's like, ooh, I need to test this. Could be a really decent lager. Tried it, and I'm like, it's crap. It's not even that nice. What's so good about this? Peroni's doppio molto batters it. Ooh, 19 crowns bottle of wine. I haven't. Yeah, the Tetley lager, I think, is probably the best lager in supermarket shelves. Certainly low ABV. Good evening, Craig. How are you, matey? And yeah, Tetley's is low ABV, 4%, that area, the best. Peroni's Doppio Molto is the best higher ABV lager. Good evening, Mr. Mersey Bears. Adam, how are you, matey? I mean, there's a lot of drivel in the supermarkets, to be fair, but I'm enjoying this. And the fact that I've got it on the shelf behind me is a killer. Because when you've already got a beer you've already paid for, and it's sat there, and you thought, I'm not reviewing it just yet, and then all of a sudden it comes up on the advent calendar, and you're like, oh God, these things happen, don't they? On all um, No, the Tetley's lager was amazing. Yeah, they use an ale yeast, and yeah, it's a stunning lager. It's funny, isn't it? Taste buds, we're all different. We all get what we get. None of us can say to anybody else that, you know, our taste buds are our taste buds. Last night I drank a lager that I really didn't rate at all. Other people would drink it, they'd say, yeah, it's fantastic lager. For me, tasted of CBD oil. And yeah, it had this funky, like cabbagey taste to it. And I'm like, oh God, I've got to try and review this and be nice. And so I, gave it the old, it's not my cup of tea. If it's not my cup of tea, then it's not nice. To me, at least. Can't win them all. This from Flipside is a decent. Never take the piss out of lager. No, I've lost where I am now. It needs all the flip. Yeah. So here's the beer from Flipside Brewing. Used to be based in Colic. They had their brewery there. I don't know what happened. I don't know any history, but they're now Cuckoo Brewing, I think at Magpie. And I'm not sure if the brewery's even alive anymore. And they're just brewing under the Magpie. Magpie brewing this under some sort of good beers yesterday on the Thorn Bridge. The Adventure Beer calendar yesterday was not good. No, I didn't like it. Yeah, lager's definitely a hot day beer drink. But yeah, these were a good brewery back in the day. Only about 4 years ago, they were a really good brewery. I don't know what happened. I don't know the history. They're still around, but they're not the brewery they used to be. So it makes you wonder if it's just a brewery in name now and not actually doing anything. Although they have got a pub in Carlton, but like I say, in Nottingham. Um, but again, are they just using Magpie's kit and had to downgrade? Makes you wonder. Black lager. I've actually got a black lager in the house that I've got to brew, funnily enough. So, slightly hazy. Looks hazy anyway to me. Golden pour. It's classed as a pale ale. On the nose, just malty on the nose for me. On the taste, again, a maltiness with a faint spicy note. But it's easy drinking. It's an old-fashioned beer for me. And I've got one behind me. So that is going on my Neckit list. I've got a list now of Neckit beers. Schwartz beer. What the hell's a Schwartz beer? Swedish. Swiss beer. Swiss beer. Jesus Christ, can't remember words out. Never come across a Schwartz beer before. God, a lot more than I do. Yeah, I prefer to keep away from lagers in the winter. To be fair, Peroni's Doppio Malto though is that sort of decent lager. A Shea recipe black lager. So 3.9%. Yeah, I enjoyed this old-fashioned beer for me. I do like Flipside Brewery. I was a fan of theirs. Um, Sad to see that the brewery closed down. Well, in Colic at least. I don't know any more history than that. I did read that they are brewed over at Magpie Brewery. Whether that's true or not, I'm not 100% sure. Um, I enjoyed this good old fashioned beer for me. Tasted nice. That's really all it means to be. Um, obviously not a modern beer, but an old fashioned pale ale. Out of five for me, a good 3.8 out of five. Schwarzbier's German for black beer. All right, yeah. And that's it for this beer review. I've got to run, go up the house, we're going to the shop and getting a foot long sausage with, is it with bacon wrapped around it? I can't remember now. Or was it a foot long sausage in batter? Can't remember what you call the bleeding things. But anyway, yeah, it's a long sausage. I think it's got bacon wrapped around it. Yeah, pigs in blankets, whatever they bloody call them. But yeah, so we're having that. Wife's driving because obviously I can't, not after 2 beers. And yeah, so that's it for this beer review. Pigs in blanket, yeah, it's definitely a pigs in blanket. And back tomorrow, or maybe back later actually, because I might do a beer review up the house later, Christmas beer. And yeah, I like a bit of sausage, not in that way though. Right, cheers everyone. Thank you for joining in, and see you later. You have a good night. Yeah, it's been going to for a few days. He likes his sausage, does he? Yeah, sausage.